a lot of people think like adultery is a huge game changing thing. And we're basically a no fault state. Adultery can come into play maybe with alimony. Adultery can maybe come into play depending on the facts and circumstances in a custody case, if the children were exposed to something that was inappropriate. But other than that, I tell people all the time, if you want to hire the investigator for your own peace of mind, so you have the answers, that's fine. And we may be able to introduce it in court to a limited degree,
Yes.
but we're not going to be able to have a full blown trial on adultery because we're no fault state, So that's a key point. I think using the attorney and the investigator as a team and figuring out really what the objectives are early on. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just kind of think that that was a very critical kind of thing to point out to the audience that, you know, you might have great evidence that Dan or another private investigator has collected, but if it's inadmissible or it has no relevance, then it doesn't do a whole lot for the actual case and the
Yeah.
results.
I've had clients come in and said, I hired a private investigator. They did X, Y, and Z. I took it to my attorney and they said they can't use it. And my response is that's why you need to communicate with your attorney that you planning on hiring a private investigator and you want to know if what they can do to help my case. And if they do that, and then they go to an investigator that's going to give them the right information, they're going to get the best results. And sometimes you get no results. And that's the other thing I have to, always explain to the client. We may not find what you're looking for. So when you hire a private investigator, you have to hire them with the understanding that they may not get what you want because what you want may not be out there. And
And that's
investigators are not just going to make up something so that they can satisfy their client. I know I don't.
and that's a critical thing too. Sometimes no result's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
It may not be good for the case because maybe you wanted this smoking gun evidence or you want it, but if you're looking into someone and maybe if they have a substance abuse problem and you suspect it and the investigator, is maybe following them around, does a trash pull, talks to the neighbors, whatever the course of the investigation might be, and there's no evidence, maybe your assertion was wrong, but that may be the best thing for your kids that, there's no substance abuse problem.
Sure. I had